Welcome back to Ask the Experts. I'm your host, Tyler Prince. With me today is Lee Garland from the Garland Group and Remax Alliance. We'll be asking questions from our Ask the Experts page at wlbt.com/ Ask the Experts. And as always, we encourage you to ask questions while we're live here on Facebook, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. Lee, how you doing today?
Doing great, Tyler. Thanks for having me back. I'm excited that we're back on the air with Ask the Expert. I've been missing this during this COVID-19 pandemic. So
Yeah, we had to find a way to make it work, and our producer Dave did a great job. So we're able to do it virtually, socially distant, staying safe. But we're happy to have you back.
very good, very good.
You ready to jump into these questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the first question that we have, I'm considering putting my house on the market, but concerned if it will sell right now with the current situation. What advice would you give me?
Well, if you're thinking about putting your house on the market, there's two things you need to look at. One is, are you more concerned about the possibilities of possibly contracting and catching the virus, or are you more concerned about getting your house sold? Only you can answer that. I will tell you though, the market today is phenomenal. It's one of the best markets I've seen in years, and to the point where I don't even know what to think about it. But if I was going to sell my house, or I thought I was going to sell my house in the next 12 months, I would have my house on the market today, right now, because there's a shortage of inventory and there's an influx of buyers looking for property. And if you ever wanted to get top dollar with the shortest amount of market time, today's the day.
What is it that you would say is putting the market in that situation?
I think there's several things going on. One is interest rates are still at historical lows. So anytime you can borrow money for less interest, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Two is, I think there's pent up demand. I think people, because of COVID-19, people have been sitting at home and realized, hey, my house is too big, or it's way too small, and I need some space to expand. It may be that your people are working from home and they need an office. So I think this pandemic has opened the eyes of a lot of consumers that their house was not big enough, or it was just way too big, and people are spending more time at home. And it's kind of the perfect storm for real estate agents like myself. But I think I think that it's an opportunity for sellers to get their house sold, and buyers to really realize what they truly do need in a home.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so the next question, I just moved here and I've been staying in a temporary living arrangement. I would like to know what the procedures are with showing property with the COVID-19 luring around in this market.
So great question. And I know most of my fellow agents are taking precautions. If you're a buyer, I will tell you my team protocol is we're going to ask if if you the buyer are exhibiting any signs or symptoms of COVID-19, as well as the properties we're about to show. We're asking those sellers if anyone in that household have shown signs of COVID-19. When you meet us, we're going to have our mask on. We actually have hand sanitizer and stuff that we're going to give you so that you can sanitize as you go in properties and stuff. We have gloves and booties, and we even have complimentary masks for you. So we're going to take every precaution as possible if you're physically viewing the property. When you come into our office, we actually have a thermometer, a digital thermometer that you can put your hand in front of, or it's a no touch that will take temperatures of the people who come in our office. Sanitizing stations, we have separate pens, we wipe everything down. But on top of that, if you're just uncomfortable going in a stranger's house, and I get it, I mean, it is a uneasy feeling, we'll go and we'll actually do Facebook videos, or we'll do Facebook Lives with people going through houses. We'll take photos for you. When we list a house, we're doing high definition photos, 3D virtual tours, drone footage, videos, even floor plans of houses, so that our buyers are able to get a very good feel for what's out there before having to actually step foot into a property. And so we're going to take whatever precautions necessary to help you.
Yeah.
And again, we don't wear a mask below our nose or below our chin. We wear it the way it's supposed to be worn. And we're going to make sure we take the necessary precautions.
Okay. So, viewers, you can feel safe if you want to view a house with Lee Garland. We have a couple of questions coming in on Facebook here. Jennifer Thompson said, "How do I get financed if I got laid off during COVID and I now have a gap in my employment?" Is that a question for you, Lee?
Yeah, that's a tough one. With a gap in your employment, you may not be able to get financing. It's still going to be dependent upon your credit score, your debt to income ratios, and stuff like that. But that gap in unemployment, that gap in employment will create some issues. So I would still encourage you, talk to a lender. If you need to know, if you need a lender recommendation, contact me, private message me or something. I'll hook you up that way. But don't be afraid to reach out and see if you qualify, because the rates today are incredible. I will tell you, there's some stuff going on in the mortgage industry where the feds have actually imposed a 0.5% fee, upfront fee to purchasers, trying to prepare for what may be a turn in the market. So if I was going to buy a house, I'd be looking to do it now, and I would not be afraid to make that application, just to at least have a conversation with a lender.
Good advice. Laura Lane asks, "Lee, do you see more people wanting to see the house virtually now?"
You know, we've had a handful that do, and I think for the most part, most of our buyers are spending more time online looking at photos and driving by before actually setting the appointment. And we're helping them with that, because a lot of times online, you don't get all of the details. That's why you need a real estate agent who can get you the disclosures and stuff, because it may look beautiful online and have foundation issues. And we have access to that information. So if you're committed to work with us, we're committed to work with you, and we'll dig and get that information before you ever have to step foot in the house. And I do think a lot of people are relying on that now because they are concerned about walking in a stranger's house.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. I see a lot of new houses being built and placed on the market. I'm torn between new versus already lived in, and when considering a home to purchase, what are the pros and cons on both?
So I love this question for several reasons. One is I'm in the middle of remodeling my personal house and living in it at the same time. It's quite a challenge. So when you buy a new home, the good thing about that is it should not need updating for quite some time. So that is certainly a pro. The other thing is no one's lived in it, so everything that's in that house should be working appropriately and have some sort of manufacturer or builder's warranty on it. The con about buying a new home is chances are the landscaping's not mature. You're probably going to have to put window accessories, blinds, curtains, drapes, whatever it is. You're going to have to put those in place, so that's an extra expense. And the a new construction house very rarely is staged, so it's hard to tell what it would look like with furniture in it. Whereas if you were buying an existing home, you would be able to see what furniture looks like in that property. So the other thing about buying a new home, you're going to pay more per square foot for that home. So you typically can get a bigger property if you're buying used versus new. So there's definitely some pros to new, pros to used. But the biggest thing that I would look for is what fits your needs.
Right. We have two questions that are kind of similar here, and talking a little bit beforehand, I know that the answer on this is a little long-winded, so I'm going to ask both of them, and hopefully the answer will answer both of them. The first question is, how's our market trending in the housing industry currently? And you touched on that a little bit earlier. And the other one is, is September known for buying or selling a home?
Okay, absolutely right, Tyler. It is, that could be a very long-winded question. I'm going to answer the September question with historic information. Okay. Historically, September and October are slower months in the real estate market. A couple of reasons why. One is people are just getting used to being adjusted to going back to school. Two, in Mississippi, we have the state fair in October. And for some reason, the state fair slows our market. But I think the main reason nationally is in August, September, people are getting back, they're going back to school and they're getting settled. And so the influx of buyers or sales took place prior to September. And of course it's an election year. And so let's historically, it's also an election year. Sometimes the market slows around a presidential election year. Mississippi is a great state to live in. It's not as impacted by election years, and it's not as impacted by the economy. We're a resilient state, and we're kind of steady eddies, if you may, for the market. But the other question was, how's the market trending? Again, it's the best market I've seen since 1996. I got into real estate in 1996, by 24, going on 25 years now. I think I'm working on 25 years now. And it's the best market I've ever seen. We do expect the market to stall. What we're looking at is probably the first of the year. However, what we also believe is Mississippi is resilient. We don't see the highs and the lows like a lot of the nation does. So I think the market's going to remain strong for the rest of the year. I have seen a decrease in lead volume, decrease in buyers coming into the market over the last 10 days. But I think that's because school has started back and people are preoccupied.
Yeah. Okay. The next person asks, I want to list my home, but not sure if I want folks coming into my home to look with the virus happening. What measures are being taken to protect buyers and sellers during a showing?
So we've got several solutions for you. That's a big concern of a lot of sellers today. First, we ask that the agents and the buyers that are wanting to look at your home, we want to make sure that they've looked at the photos, the videos, the drone footage, and the floor plan that we've shot of your property prior to them actually entering it, to make sure that it fits their needs. Secondly, we're asking them on the front end if they've shown any signs or symptoms of COVID-19. We want to, and if they have, we have the right to say, no, you can't come. You have the right to decline the showing. So we spend a lot of money making sure they have online access to the property. We can provide at the door, we can provide gloves, booties, and masks. and sanitizer that everyone must use in order to access your property. Another solution, though, is, and I've had several people take advantage of this, at the Garland Group, we offer a buy it now product where we've bought several houses from sellers without ever having to show the property to anybody. We've given them an instant offer. When we've come out, we've listed the property. Within 72 hours, we gave them an instant offer on the property. The seller took it so they didn't have to show it to anyone. Now that offer, I will tell you, that offer is not a, you'll be able to sell your home for more if you show it. But if you're looking for convenience and safety, we have a product for that. So we've got solutions. We can help keep you safe by using technology. We can even meet with you via Zoom. And you can show us pictures of your house or walk us through your house on your phone. And we can show you what our marketing's like and what it's going to take to get your house sold via Zoom. I actually prefer it that way because I'm able to actually show you market data from my computer screen instead of sitting there at your table, bringing it out of the top of my mind. I know it, but I'm able to show it to you in black and white from my computer when we're on Zoom. So you have a better understanding of what the market actually is.
Yeah. Well, you just touched on this, but I want you to go a little bit more into detail. Cora Switzer says, your commercials say that y'all buy our house. Is that true?
Yes, absolutely. I've bought, let's see, today it's August. I forget what the date is, but it's the middle of August, and year to date, this year alone, I've bought approximately 20 properties.
Oh, wow.
So, yes, we will buy your home up front, and we actually have three products. One, we can sell it on the retail market. We can list it like every other real estate agent and hope that it sells, or we can list it and agree to give you an instant offer within 72 hours of you listing it, which is our buy it now program, or we can do what's called a guaranteed sale. We can put it on the market, we can try your price, and at the end of the day, if it doesn't sell at the end of that time frame, we'll buy it for a predetermined price. So year to date, I've bought about 20 properties, and if you're thinking about doing that, reach out to me because I'd love to talk to you.
So your year to date is to me it sounds like a high number. And one of the questions we have, has the COVID-19 virus affected the market with foreclosures? Has that impacted the reason that you bought so many houses?
No. Matter of fact, if you'll remember, when COVID-19 really started becoming mainstream, there was a moratorium put on evictions and foreclosures. So if the property was backed by a government-based mortgage, the banks couldn't actually foreclose on that property. Do I suspect that there will be an increased number of foreclosures in the future? I do. But the properties that I've bought have actually, some of them I've paid top dollar for them. Granted, most of the time when I buy a property, it's all about convenience, and it's not about getting top dollar. Now, I will tell you this, I'm not buying these properties at 50 and 60 cents on the dollar. I'm paying a fair market value for the property, but it is a lesser dollar amount than what you could. It's not going to be top dollar if you sold it retail, but the convenience factor is huge.
Right. Okay. Somebody asked, how do I prep my home to sell now with these new temporary laws due to the virus?
How do you prep? Can you repeat the question, Tyler?
Yeah. How do I prep my home to sell now with these new temporary laws due to the virus? I assume they're asking, well, are there laws that have been put into place with, I guess, the restrictions of social distancing and having to remain 6 feet apart? Is there a way for them to, I guess, Do they need to lay down tape with arrows? Say, go, whenever you walk through the grocery store, you have to go this way up an aisle.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there
Got
anything like that they can do to prep showing their home?
Oh, well, there's not anything that you have to do specifically to prep your home for sale due to COVID-19. Now, you need to be socially responsible. And if you have been around someone that has the virus or that you personally have the virus, then that needs to be known. You need to be socially responsible there. You don't want to infect others. And that's the same thing with the buyers that are looking at properties today. As an agent, we are considered essential workers, but again, we do wear our mask,
Right.
and we have masks and sanitizers and stuff for our clients. So we're making sure that takes place when people walk through your home. Now, if you did put your home on the market, I know a lot of people have video surveillance today.
Yeah.
If you put your home on the market and you were watching your video and an agent showed up or a buyer showed up and they didn't have a mask on, we need to know that, because agents know that they're supposed to take every precaution necessary to protect both the buyer and the seller and all people involved in that transaction. When you go to close your home at the attorney's office, a lot of times some attorneys are actually meeting you at your car to sign paperwork. And they're making sure people are in separate rooms. I know some attorneys' office have actually installed UV lighting to help kill germs and stuff like that. So,
wow.
But from a homeowner's perspective, just clean it, and after a showing, go in with your disinfectant wipes and wipe everything down again. We're telling buyers not to touch anything. The agents should not be touching anything more than they have to, and a good agent, they're going to wear gloves because they're wanting to protect your property.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So earlier you mentioned that this is a great market. Is that is now the time to be selling or purchasing a home?
Both, and it's hard and it sounds like I'm talking out both sides of my mouth. I know, but the reason I say both is because interest rates are low. The cost of borrowing money is so low that if you're a buyer, you certainly want to take advantage of it. We may never see rates at this level again. From a seller's perspective, there's a shortage of inventory. There are more buyers than there are sellers. So if you're a seller and you need to get your house sold, today is the time to get it done. We have such a shortage of inventory. Matter of fact, I haven't even promoted this. I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret. We're about to open up a new product where if we need sellers, we need listings, and because we need listings, we've got a $595 listing fee instead of paying a full commission. We believe in our marketing so much that if we don't sell your house in the first 30 days, all we're going to charge you is $595 in commissions.
Wow.
But we need inventory, some kind of bad, and we're so confident we can sell it. We're just going to charge a base commission of $595 if it doesn't sell in 30 days or less.
Well, there you go. If you're looking to sell a house, Lee's information is at the bottom of the screen, so give him a call. Kat Green wants to know, if I want to sell a house, what is the first step? Do I just call you, Lee?
Call me, and we'll do a phone consultation, maybe a video consultation. Then we'll come out, take a look at your house, taking the precautions necessary. We'll guide you through the process step by step.
There we go. And this is kind of a follow-up. Do you have many lease-to-own options or owner financing options?
lease to own owner financing options are very, very, very difficult to find. Matter of fact, there's some websites out there that are even called rent to own or lease to own.com or .net or something like that. They're very misleading because you would think that if you went to a website like that, that all the properties on that website are leased to own or rent to own, where the truth is they're not. They're just pulling data from other sites and saying, hey, these are properties for sale. You should ask if they're willing to lease or rent to own. But that's a hard product to find. Most sellers do not want to do that today because the market is so good. They want their money all at one time.
Yeah.
Do we have some of those products available? We don't have any in our current inventory. Could you find some? It's possible. But it's just not a mainstream product currently.
Yeah. Okay. I may butcher this name. It's Shinatra. Wants to know, when does the flat rate commission start?
Private message me, reach out to me, let's talk about it. I've not finalized the details on that. But reach out to me and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
I'm kind of letting the cat out of the bag. I've been working on it the last 2 days, and but that's a sneak peek that only WLBT Ask the Expert viewers have inside information on.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, that looks like all of our questions from Facebook. If you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask, you can submit them to wlbt.com/ask the experts. Lee Garland will be joining us again on September 15th at 10 a.m. again. Is that correct, Lee?
That sounds right. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Let's see. If you guys want to get in touch with Lee, his information is at the bottom of the screen. And his website, I believe, is on there as well. Lee, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I'm going to help you out, Tyler. LeeWillBuyIt.com. LeeWillBuyIt.com.
LeeWillBuyIt.com.
I'm going to make you say that 5 times so that you won't forget it.
I can do it. LeeWillBuyIt.com. 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 Is that
right? You're awesome, man. You're awesome.
Lee, thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate having you. I can't wait to see you again next time. And to our viewers, we thank you for joining in. And most importantly, we hope that you learned something.